what's up guys? This is the first video for Webheads. I'm your host, Micah, the movie geek, and so today I've decided to kick things off with the rumor that Spider-Man will be going back to Marvel. You know, will he, will he not? And then I'm going to discuss how this channel can be different from my main channel, Geeky Reviews. So, for those of you who don't know, Spider-Man is almost probably on his way back to Marvel at the moment, and because Sony has had hacks and you know it got out on the internet that Spider-Man could possibly be going back to Marvel, and you know, yeah, but this isn't surprising because you know, have we ever doubted that one day Sony and Marvel talked about Spider-Man going back to Marvel? Have we ever doubted that? No, because Sony is in a position, and probably has been over the past couple years, that they do need that you know, more respect for the character after Amazing Spider-Man 2 got mixed reviews, and so yeah. And, you know, Marvel, we all know Marvel would do a better job with the character than Sony has. But, you know, we shouldn't, you know, just say, hey, Spider-Man needs to go back to Marvel. Because Sony has, you know, really good Spider-Man films. They made Spider-Man 1, they made Spider-Man 2, and they made The Amazing Spider-Man, which to me are all three great Spider-Man films. Sure, they had the two, Spider-Man 3 and The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which no one liked, but they have more good Spider-Man films than they do bad Spider-Man films. So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I think Spider-Man it will stay at Sony, and I really hope if they do, if the rights stay and retain at Sony, that Sony can get it right. Make the best Spider-Man film for Amazing Spider-Man 3 or for Sinister Six. So then that will fix the issue of the Spider-Man franchise. However, it's kind of complicated. It's kind of hard for Sony to make a great Spider-Man film. Sure, they've done it in the past, but that's with them not putting their hands into it. You know, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 3 both got mixed reviews because Sony put their hands into it. Sony wanted, like in Spider-Man 3, they wanted Venom, and they wanted the Black Suit Spider-Man, while Sam Raimi just wanted to stick to one villain, which was Vulture. And so they had mixed creative control to Sam Raimi, and then Sam Raimi left. Now I think this is it's kind of what's gonna do they're gonna do the same thing to Mark Webb. Though Mark Webb, to me, seems like he's gonna be less bothered by Sony getting their hands into it. But Mark Webb, they could possibly say, hey, we want this character, this character, this character, this character in, but Mark Webb could only want only like 2 or 1 character in there. And then, so then what's next? Or are they going to say, no, I don't want to do this anymore, just do whatever again? You know, they're going to reboot it again, and are we going to see another origin story? Which I hope we do not see another origin story, because if we do, I'm not going to go see it again, because I already know how Spider-Man becomes Spider-Man. If that's the case, then they're screwed, because if they decide to reboot it again, I don't know. So I'm kind of torn on, you know, is Marvel gonna go back, or Spider-Man going back to Marvel? But I could see it happening. The only reason I can see it happening is because Sony is in a mess right now and has no idea what to do with their Spider-Man franchise, and possibly just get help from Marvel and do the 60-40 split, where Marvel will make the films, which will make the Spider-Man films way better, and Sony will retain the distribution rights and the marketing for it. However, the bad thing about marketing for Sony is that they show way too much of the movie online. And what I mean by that is that Sony, with The Amazing Spider-Man 1, they did so much false advertising for that, because the first one they made it look like it was the untold story of Spider-Man. You know how he became Spider-Man, and the trailer made it look like his parents were going to be or playing a crucial part on how he becomes Spider-Man. However, that wasn't the case. The Sony and Mark Webb decided, they would bring this parent storyline into it, but they weren't going to go overboard with it. They're just going to focus on how he becomes Spider-Man again. However, they did do a lot of false advertising, and because the fan reaction to the trailer about, Peter's parents playing a crucial or a big part in how he becomes Spider-Man wasn't that appealing to fans, so they said, okay, that's fine, fans will just do our original idea and blah blah. And then with the Amazing Spider-Man 2, they just went bigger and bigger with the marketing and barely even made the movie profitable. It made about $700 million worldwide, less than what any other Spider-Man film made to date. And because they basically everyone could just watch it online for free if they just watched all the trailers. And because there's nothing in the trailers that weren't in the movie, in the trailers there was in the movie there's nothing from the trailer basically. To me, it was just all this stuff, all these scenes put into one movie, and no editing went into it, and no heart went into making the film. So that's my take on it. So I'm kind of torn on it. I really do, some parts of me wish they would go back to Marvel, and some parts of me wish they would just stay at Sony. So I'm kind of torn on it. However, I know a lot of people say, go back to Marvel, Spider-Man, Sony, forget you, don't make any more Spider-Man films, you suck. However, I can give them the benefit of the doubt one more time. If they screw up one more time, then I'll say, okay, go back to Marvel or Spider-Man, don't be at Sony. Anyway, so yeah, that's my first video for Webheads. Make sure you leave some thoughts on this entire Spider-Man thing down below. And are you happy, or are you glad to see maybe Spider-Man could go back to Marvel one day, or are you more against with him staying at Sony? Whatever it is, leave them thoughts down below. And again, this channel is going to be mostly comic book, movie, news related, so it's just going to be anything news that's comic books. It's not going to be any movie reviews, so if you guys are looking for movie reviews, go check out my main channel, Geeky Reviews, and subscribe to that one. If you are interested in regular stuff like comic book news, make sure you subscribe to this channel. And that's all I have to say for you right now, and I'll catch you guys later. Subscribe, like, do all that garbage down below, and peace out.